So this is Ginny with learnwithginny.com, and have I got a story for you, and maybe you can relate, and maybe you'll think it's a bunch of hooey, who knows, but let's do it. So if you're live on Facebook, make sure that you chime in, and even if you're watching the replay, please do comment and leave your name and let me know where you're from. And today, why don't you let me know what your struggles are so, we can relate. But the struggle is real. And your subconscious is going to throw things at you. And you're not even going to realize that you're self-sabotaging. Whatever your goal is, it's going to happen. I didn't finish my post today, so I don't even have a link for you this morning. And, part of me was like, well, I don't have the material ready, so why would I go live? Because my new habit, over the last 3 weeks now, is to, lay out my post so that I get the key points for you. And then I go live on Facebook and I do my recording over here on my tablet so that I have it in case you can't hear me. But I didn't have it ready this morning. I don't feel good. My whole family came down with influenza. Okay, so that was number one. And I got it too. And lots of shit happened. Excuse my language, but lots of crap happened. And let's see. I don't even know where to begin. So, first off, I also, keep myself in shape, and I'm always on a journey on improving myself physically, emotionally, mentally. I'm always learning, and I'm always pushing myself to teach you what I'm learning, right? Because that's my ultimate, I have a vision of where I want to go, and I'm determined to get there. And the struggle is real. I'm going to go back to that because that's going to be the title at least the big picture that I'm going to put on my blog post when I finish it. And definitely you're going to want to go read it or whatever. I'm going to lay it out for you. So let me tell you the crazy story. So I decided to, get into a coaching program, an accountability plus coaching program to help me push through all this. And it's almost like the minute I decided that, crap hit the fan. First off, the weather was crazy. Now I don't have control over that, but the winds were like 50 miles an hour and power went out and I missed the call. So it's like, well, now I missed my opportunity. What the heck? I did eventually get a hold of the person and get back to them. I couldn't use the internet. And then, I started feeling better, so I stayed up late. This is self-sabotage and made myself even sicker. So this is what I'm talking about, your subconscious resistance. You're going to throw things at yourself because of your fear of success. It sounds weird, but it's true. You're afraid inside. Your mind is afraid of the change and afraid of success. The doubt that you're going to make it, that you're going to do it. And the resistance is your brain resisting the change in habits. Because there is some neurological science behind this where it really is, and it's a defense mechanism. You're ingrained in your habits, and when you try to change those habits, your subconscious is going to fight it, and you're going to self-sabotage. So here are, 4 steps I'll give you the link to where I found these 4 simple steps, because I didn't come up with these on my own, you know. I don't come up with a lot of stuff on my own, but we all need help. So that's part of it, reaching out for help, getting coaching, getting a mentor, getting someone to look at what you're doing and point it out at you. Look, Jenny, look what you're doing. You're self-sabotaging. You need to push through this, and this is the way you do it. First, know that resistance, that subconscious resistance, is inevitable. It'll happen because you're going to fight the change. People around you are going to fight the change because they don't want you to change how things are around them. And they're not going to be doing it on purpose. Some of them might be, but you're going to meet resistance. So know that it's there. That's step 1, to acknowledge that it's going to be there. And then step 2 is to notice it and prepare for it. So be mindful of what's going on. Don't just throw up your hands and say, "Oh, that's not my fault. I didn't, this is just happening to me." Stuff doesn't just happen to you. And also, if stuff happens to you, what determines your success is how you deal with it. So, I didn't finish my story this morning. Not only did the power go out, but yesterday morning, I'm trying to get my post done, and my site crashed, and I was like, what the heck? I had saved the HTML, luckily, so I had all the work that I had done on that one post. But I was like, what's going on? So I went back. I had to reset, and then it wouldn't let me in, and then my site went down. And long story short, it looked like I'd lost the last month of work. A little bit of panic there. I wasn't going to panic, though. I was going to look at it like, well, then I get to start fresh. I've already done this material. It's going to be even better because I've already practiced it. That's what I was thinking. But I was also thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose all that work. That was a lot of work. Every day for 5 days a week, I was here live on Facebook, and I had a post for every day teaching you something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got to start all over. But long story short, it took half the day, but we got everything back except for one post. So now I just got to do that one post. So thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you for setting up for Ray, because in his class on blogging, that's one of the key things he talked about was backing up. And me being in the IT profession, I know that you have to back up your stuff. So I'm going to suggest that you not only back up, use the backup on your website, but schedule those backups, but maybe do a manual backup too, because you can export your posts and put them on a thumb drive. I'm going off on a tangent. I don't have everything laid out for me this morning, so I'm going off. But that was part of the story that I wanted to tell you about. When you put stuff in front of you that's you do to yourself. And I'll have to look at that and figure out how I did that to myself. I can think of it. I could have reached out for help before I clicked the reset button or whatever. I could have. Yeah. Anyway, so look at it. Notice it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm noticing it. I did something to self-sabotage myself, for sure. And be open to the experience of it. Recognize the fear within. I don't know if that makes sense. Recognize your doubt. Recognize your fear. Recognize the resistance to making changes in your life. I hope that makes sense. And then I like this. I'm going to send you a link to this because she says step number 4 is whack it. So welcome it as part of the journey. And then, push through it. And I'll give you some advice on that, you know, I don't know. Let me think of some things. Like this morning, I'm like, I'm never going to get that blog post done. That was my mantra in my head. And it's true, it happened because I don't feel good. So I laid in bed a few minutes longer, and I shouldn't have. But that's it. See, this is self-sabotage, though. I already said that. But you can change that. And I'm rambling today. I hope I got my point across. The 4 steps, I'm just going to go through the 4 steps. So know that resistance is inevitable. Notice it, be aware of it, and recognize when you're self-sabotaging. Be open to the experience of it, because you're going to learn to push through and learn to push through barriers and then whack it. You know, let it go. The brain is a powerful thing. And if you learn to harness the subconscious to help you out, great things are going to happen. Okay, so here's to your success. And the struggle is real. Beat it down. You can do it. And so can I. We can do this together. Make sure you go to learnwithginny.com and check out the products page for free training.